Hey guys, you're listening to episode 24 of the True Voyage Soundcast, and I'm Natasha Che. Today we're going to talk about how to own a room if you are an empath or energetically sensitive. And this is also useful even if you're not, because some of the principles are just universal. But before we start, I want to remind you that this is a regularly updated soundcast available on Soundwise. And if you're listening to this elsewhere, there should be a button or a link you can click on that takes you to the subscription page. And I encourage you to subscribe because I oftentimes have, exclusive materials only available for our subscribers. For example, after every episode, I will write down the action steps, the homework assignment that help you to integrate whatever information that I give you in each episode to really apply to your own life. So if you want to get that, sign up and get regular updates from this soundcast. Okay, so today I want to talk about what to do when you walk into the room with a large group of people and you get overwhelmed. Because that's what often happens when you're energetically sensitive, is when you're with a group of people, you are processing everybody's shit. And you like it or not, that's what happens. Whether you're doing this, consciously or unconsciously, that's what happens. So it's very overwhelming sometimes when you are with a large group of people. And if you are at a stage when, some kind of, spiritual opening is happening, some kind of internal awakening is happening, it's even worse. It's even more overwhelming. So I want to talk about that. But the event that inspired the topic today is because, I'm actually here sitting in the backyard of someone's house in Menlo Park, California. I'm here traveling for 2 weeks and participate in a accelerator program for female entrepreneurs. It's been such an amazing week, and I've met so many inspiring people, really helped me to elevate my business forward, give me additional perspectives and visions. So that's the upside, right? Very exciting time. The downside is I must have met, at least 30 to 50 people every day this past week. And it's absolutely exhausting for the reason that I just mentioned, because I am a freaking empath. And when I walked into a room with a large group of people, my instinctual reaction is, oh my God, they are coming to get me. And I just when I walked in a room, especially if it's noisy and with, was, very loud sight and sound, I get overwhelmed easily. And a lot of empaths are like this, right? So the instinctual response in that situation for many of us is we shrink. We get smaller because the instinct says, if I become smaller, if I shrink, they will not notice me. They will not come bother me. Then it's less likely that I will get overwhelmed. So that's one aspect of it. Another aspect is, when you're inundated with other people's energy, you kind of, it's easy to lose the ground of who you are, your own home base for empathic people. So that also it's a very confusing and overwhelming experience. It can escalate very quickly if you are not mindful about the state that you're in. Now, the good news is that you are actually also at an advantage of becoming super effective in that kind of situation if you are mindful, if you're aware of where you are. And empaths, we tend to be very self-aware. So you already have a leg up, compared to most people because you don't want to get overwhelmed, right? So the reason you're in that room is because you want to make connections, you want to talk to people, and you want to leave a good impression on other people, right? You want to be effective. So today, what I want to talk to you about is, first of all, how not to get overwhelmed. And secondly, how to be extra effective as an empath when you walk in the room. No matter whether you are extrovert or an introvert, it doesn't matter. You know, some people say, okay, I'm an introvert, I'm at a disadvantage, I don't know how to talk to people. That's BS. I think that's total BS. It all depends on how you handle yourself when you walk into a room. And for empath, that's like really hard to do. I'm hearing like 2 angry birds in the background, but you know, I'm sitting outside. So where do we start? Okay, the first thing, so I want to tell you 4 steps that will help you to be more effective when you walk into the room with a large group of people in, cocktail parties and conference, any kind of events that you need to show up, right? The baseline, let's just say the baseline assumption is, the premise is, hiding is not the solution. It only make you feel small and feel you're totally ineffective, and it's just a waste of time for everybody. Like, you feel like you shouldn't be there, right? So that's not how I want you to feel. So here are the 4 steps that I suggest you to do when you walk into a room. Especially if you're energetically sensitive, you need to be mindful of these things. Okay? So the first thing when you walk into a room is, like, for example, last Sunday when I just got here, there was like a huge, welcome party, and I walked into the room and I saw that, 50, 100 people in front of me. Again, my instinct is, oh my God, what am I going to do? I'm already overwhelmed, right? And the thing that you want to do immediately is, I want you to extend your roots. Just imagine that you have these energetic roots extending like from your pelvic floor, from the bottom of your soul, from the bottom of your feet into the earth. And you can actually, I don't know where you are when you're listening to this. Maybe you're driving, maybe you're doing laundry, I don't know. But you can do this with me. Just do this exercise with me. Just imagine you are like a tree. You have roots. And those roots are really strong and they grow super fast. And now you are extending them from beneath you into the earth that is beneath you, right? Into the ground, and you extend it and extend it. It grows stronger and stronger and bigger until it penetrates the other side of the earth. It goes through the center of the earth and go, right through the other side. That is how strong your roots are. You are firmly grounded on this planet. That is the first step. And I want you to do this because, first of all, you need to anchor yourself. You need to anchor your center, right? Before you talk to anybody. So that's the first step I want you to do. And I want you to try your best to be aware of your roots as you're moving around in the room, as you're, look around and start talking to other people. It may not be easy. I'm not saying this is easy, okay? But it will get better over time. So extend your roots. That's step 1. Step 2, I want you to really feel your body. By the way, all we are doing here is to primarily establish your own center, your own energy base. So when you have a keen awareness of where you are and who you are, it's less likely that you will get overwhelmed by other people's energy. So that is the premise. So the second step is I want you to feel your body, starting from your toes. Can you feel your toes? Wiggle your toes if you can, if you're not like super aware of them. So just become aware that you have toes. And then you have ankles. So this is, some of the yoga teachers, they do the same exercises in yoga sessions. But I want you to know that these are the exercises you can do. And when you are walking, when you're talking to people, right? Especially when you feel like you're overwhelmed. So you feel your legs. You have legs. You have butts. You have your pelvis, right? Feel you have a stomach. I have a stomach, yes. And feel your gut. Feel your heart. Feel your throat. Feel your fingers. Your arms. Your neck. Your face. Just go scan your body and feel yourself. And try to, really get you into your body. Be aware of your body as much as possible. So this will help you to get grounded in who you are instead of being dragged along by other people's energy. Now, when you walked in the room, you may also feel nervous. You may also feel pissed, or you may feel any kind of the whole spectrum of emotions. And very likely, if you feel nervous, if you feel, overwhelmed and inundated, keep in mind that half of what you feel very likely is not coming from you. Because you're in the room, you are a freaking empath, you're picking up on everyone else. Okay? Just be aware of that. And it's not you. A lot of situations, it's not you. So don't give yourself a hard time for feeling whatever you're feeling. Okay? Whatever emotion that comes up, just, notice. Interesting. I'm feeling nervous. I wonder who is sending that energy to me, right? So be neutral. Just observe that energy. Just, let it go. Send it love. Send whatever emotion you're feeling, your love, your compassion. It's okay, kid. It's okay to feel nervous. All right. I don't know, where this energy is coming from, but I want you to love it. And now so that's the second step. A third step, I want you to look around the room. Okay. Scan the room and pick the four corners of the room. Usually the room is square, right? So there are four corners. Actually 8 corners if you count the ceiling and the floor, right? 8 corners of a room. And I want you to project your energy to those corners. Now, sometimes when you get physical, it's easier. You imagine you throw an energy ball towards that 8 corners of the room. Those are your energy, right? That's your presence. So, but you don't have to wave your hand to throw a ball like that when you're in a room, and it looks really weird. But just set your intention. Look at the 8 corners of the room and project your energy. Okay, this is my presence. My presence extends to that 8 corners of the room. And this helps you to establish, because your presence is your safe space. It helps you to establish your safe space. Extend that safe space to the entire room. Right? So after you project that the energy into the corners of the room, so you imagine yourself, your presence covers the entire room. And I want you to really watch your body language, right? To stand tall and take up space. Okay, so like be mindful of your body gesture, because sometimes when your instinct is to shrink, is to hide, then your body language, like unconsciously, subconsciously, you shrink your physical gesture as well. Don't do that. Okay, be mindful of your physical gesture. You want to stand tall and stand broad and take up space, and that in turn, your physical gesture will give cues to your subconscious mind to not hide. It will in turn, trigger your energetic body to expand, to, stop hiding. So these like a two-way streets, right? But if you fix your physical gesture, it will help to establish your boundary, to establish your roots in your energetic body as well. So really, stand tall and stand broad in your physical, in your physical posture. Okay? And so that is the third step, which is to take space, both energetically and physically. All right. And so notice that everything I told you so far, it really applies whether you're an empath or not. It's just when you're an empath, because you're more easily to get overwhelmed, you probably want to do these things more consciously. Okay? And the fourth step, I would call it, let people come to you. What I mean is this. You walk in the room, you look at people and, someone you're interested in talking to, and you walk up to that person, right? Especially if someone is like really popular. If you go to that place just to meet, one or two people, you kind of, I see that person. I want to, go, to meet them, to extend my hand, like say hello. Those are all fine, right? But I just want you to be aware of your energetic posture, right? When people are at these events, they typically have two kinds of energetic posture. They either like very eagerly reach out to people, or they're kind of centered in their own space. They're just, here's where I am, and here's who I am. And the second posture, it's always more effective than the first one, because when you are firmly grounded in your own space, and when your energetic gesture is like saying, I'm here, come talk to me, right? You are at a more relaxed space, and somehow like people are attracted to that. When you like really energetically extend and go out, like when your energy is like a pushy or overly eager to go after people, it makes people run away. But when you do the opposite, when you're just, here is where I am, here's where I stand, come talk to me, right? So that is the energetic gesture you want to have, that is both firm and open. But you don't want to like eagerly, energetically reach out to other people, because then you forget your home base. Especially if you're energetically sensitive, that's already something very easy to forget. So you always want to stay at your own home base. You can walk up to people. Even when you walk up to people, still be aware that you are here in your own space. If they want to talk to you, right, they need to move closer. But you are not going to leave your own home space, your home base. That is, you are fully grounded in who you are. Okay, so that I know this is, not like this kind of awareness, not the easiest thing to keep once you start moving and start talking to people. But it takes practice, but it does make a huge difference in how you feel when you walk into the room. The last thing I want you to feel is to feel, oh, I'm overwhelmed. I feel so small, and I feel like I want to hide because I feel so weird. I'm so out of place here. That's like when you're empath, that's something we tend to feel. And but if you do these exercises, it's more likely that you will feel grounded, you will feel confident, you will feel like, okay, I'm here, I'm taking my presence, this is who I am. If you want to talk to me, great. I invite you into my own space, but I'm not going to leave my own space to pursue you, to run after you. That is so much more effective for you, and both like feeling good about yourself and your space, and also attract the right people to come talk to you. Okay, so that is today's episode, how to own the room when you are energetically sensitive. And I will see you next time.